The next thing that caught my eye was something involving your fellow union sister, Miss Julia Hammer. What
hmm
what happened there?
So Julia is a former crew member at a non-union store in New York State, and she recently filed a lawsuit because Trader Joe's did not provide a proper lactation space for her when she was nursing her child. And unfortunately, that's a company-wide issue. We've heard from crew members across the country, and I've seen it myself in our own store. Trader Joe's rarely provides a proper lactation space. They have folks pumping milk in the demo kitchens where we're supposed to be making samples, in like the dusty storage attic that you have to like climb up a rickety ladder to get to. In electrical and mechanical rooms where like I don't think that anybody should be anyway. Like there's machinery and electrical panels in there. There's nowhere comfortable to sit, nowhere to rest your pump, nowhere to even, sometimes these spaces don't even lock properly, so people are getting walked in on by their fellow crew members and managers while they're in this very vulnerable situation. And there's also, in many cases, Trader Joe's just ignoring the law in these areas as well, that are these laws that have been put in place to protect nursing parents. So I'm really happy to see that Julia filed this. I think it's time for change on this issue at Trader Joe's.
And the other thing that happened to Miss Hammer was something with her health care.
Mm.
Can you
Not
explain what happened there?
so something happened with her health care while she was on leave, where Trader Joe's said that she hadn't worked enough to get health care and booted her and her child from her plan. But she was a full-time, my understanding is that she was a full-time employee who should have been able to stay on her plan. It is not unusual for crew members to have trouble navigating different types of leave and their benefits with Trader Joe's. So at our store, we had a crew member who lost their health care because they were going through cancer treatment, and HR just like could not figure out what plan they should be on. They were booted on, taken off, put back on. It was, they told me it was just as stressful as their actual treatment to have to deal with that kind of bureaucracy while you're having a health crisis. So, and we've heard from other people who've gone through similar things where they really should have been able to maintain their benefits. The policies are not clear, mistakes were made, or they had a health crisis, and when they came back to work, they just couldn't work enough physically to maintain their hours and ended up getting booted. So our union has proposed that no one ever lose their health benefits when they take a leave. You shouldn't lose your health benefits if you go on maternity leave, if you go on workers' comp, if you have some kind of crisis.
You yourself have experienced things being a mother. I think you mentioned that your son is 14 years old. What did you go through because you said you were Trader Joe's for 20 years, so you definitely were pregnant and, did everything while still working at Trader Joe's. What did you go through?
Yeah, so at our store is much like other Trader Joe's locations where there's nowhere to pump. And anyone who's been a nursing parent knows that like you need to be a little bit relaxed and comfortable to let down your milk. And, it's just like a vulnerable time in your life. Like it's very emotional and it's very physical. It's a huge change. And at our store, there was nowhere truly private to pump. We were expected to pump milk in the demo kitchen, but of course we are competing with the person who actually needs to be cooking back there. The lock was not reliable. People were getting walked in on. I personally was like, I cannot pump in that kitchen. So I pumped in my car, and living in Massachusetts, our winters get cold. So I needed to wean my son before, as January approached, I was like, okay, I think that it's time to wean him. We can't do this through the winter.